Hello, and a warm welcome to Senior Wise Journey. It's your friend and guide here to walk with you through the beautiful, winding paths of our golden years. I want to tell you about my old friend, Charlie, a man full of life, could fix any engine, and told the best stories. One morning, he just didn't wake up. The doctors said his heart gave out in his sleep. We were all heartbroken and confused. He seemed perfectly fine. It got me thinking, and more importantly, researching what happens in the quiet hours of the night. It turns out some of our most common, seemingly innocent bedtime habits can become silent saboteurs as we age. Today, we're not going to talk about fear. We're going to talk about power. The power to reclaim our nights for deep healing and rejuvenation. We will uncover 4 of these hidden risks and give you the simple, powerful keys to ensure you wake up every morning feeling stronger, healthier, and ready to embrace a beautiful new day. Let's begin this journey together.
Part 1. The Midnight Feast. Why your stomach needs to sleep too. Do you remember those days, maybe in your 30s or 40s, when you could polish off a late dinner, maybe even a slice of cheesecake, and sleep like a stone? Our bodies were resilient, weren't they? But just as a classic car needs a different kind of care than a new one off the lot, our bodies in our 60s, 70s, and beyond require a new level of wisdom and respect. One of the most common habits we carry over from our younger years is eating a substantial meal close to bedtime. It feels comforting, a nice way to end the day. But what we don't realize is that we're essentially asking our bodies to run a marathon while they're supposed to be in a state of deep repair. Think of your digestive system as a meticulous, hard-working factory. During the day, the main shift is buzzing with energy, efficiently processing everything you send its way. But as evening approaches, the factory is scheduled for its vital overnight maintenance. The machinery needs to be cleaned, repaired, and reset for the next day. Now imagine that just as the maintenance crew is about to start, a massive, unexpected shipment arrives. That heavy pasta dinner or that juicy steak you had at 9 p.m. The factory manager has no choice but to call the crew back to the production line. The maintenance is postponed. This is precisely what happens inside you. Instead of focusing on cellular repair, memory consolidation, and regulating hormones, your body is forced to divert massive amounts of energy and blood flow to your stomach to break down that food. The immediate consequence for many of us is acid reflux, or GERD. It's not just a minor annoyance, it's a warning signal. As you lie down, the stomach acid, churned up by late-night digestion, doesn't stay where it belongs. It can creep up your esophagus, causing that familiar burning sensation, coughing, or even a frightening, choking feeling that jolts you awake. Over the long term, this chronic acid exposure can damage the lining of your esophagus and even increase the risk of aspiration pneumonia, where stomach contents enter your lungs, a very serious threat for seniors. But the danger goes deeper than digestion. To power this unscheduled late-night digestive work, your heart has to pump harder, keeping your blood pressure and heart rate elevated at a time when they should naturally be at their lowest. This sustained strain on your cardiovascular system, night after night, is like constantly redlining an engine. It accelerates wear and tear. For those of us managing blood pressure or with any history of heart concerns, this is a critical risk factor for nighttime heart attacks or strokes. Furthermore, a late meal can send your blood sugar on a roller coaster, which is particularly dangerous for anyone with or at risk for type 2 diabetes. So what's the wise solution? It's a simple, graceful adjustment. Make it a golden rule to finish your last big meal of the day at least 3 to 4 hours before you plan to go to sleep. This gives your body's day shift ample time to do its job, so the maintenance crew can take over as planned. If you feel a bit peckish before bed, that's perfectly fine, but choose your snack wisely. Think of it as a gentle lullaby for your stomach. A handful of almonds, a small banana, a cup of chamomile tea, or even a few tart cherries, which naturally contain melatonin, are wonderful choices. These are light, easy to digest, and can actually promote better sleep. By making this one change, you're not just avoiding discomfort, you're giving your body the precious, uninterrupted time it needs to heal and recharge. You are setting the stage to wake up feeling genuinely rested, not groggy and heavy.
Part 2. The Nightly Flood. Rethinking hydration for unbroken rest. Drink more water. We've had this advice drilled into us for decades, and for good reason. Hydration is the cornerstone of health. It lubricates our joints, keeps our minds sharp, and our skin healthy. But as we enter our wise years, the timing of that hydration becomes just as important as the quantity. If you find yourself on a nightly pilgrimage to the bathroom once, twice, or even 3 times, you're not just losing sleep, you're unknowingly walking into a potential danger zone. This habit of drinking too much liquid, even water, in the hours before bed can have consequences that ripple far beyond a simple inconvenience. Let's talk about the body's plumbing. As we age, our bladder's elasticity can decrease, meaning it can't hold as much as it used to. Simultaneously, our kidneys, which are supposed to slow down their filtering work at night, sometimes don't get the memo. This combination means that a large glass of water, juice, or tea in the evening is a guaranteed ticket to a nighttime awakening. The problem isn't the trip itself, it's the journey there. When you've been lying horizontally for hours, your blood pressure is settled and low. Then the urge strikes. You sit up and stand quickly. This sudden change in posture can cause a rapid drop in blood pressure, known as postural hypotension. You might feel a wave of dizziness, see stars, or feel lightheaded. For a senior, in the dark, this momentary disorientation is one of the leading causes of devastating nighttime falls. A fall can mean a broken hip, a head injury, and a sudden loss of independence. It's a risk we absolutely must minimize. Beyond the physical danger of falls, these constant interruptions shatter the delicate architecture of your sleep. Deep, restorative sleep doesn't just happen, it's built in cycles. Each time you wake up, turn on a light, and walk to the bathroom, you're essentially demolishing that cycle and forcing your brain to start over. You're being robbed of the crucial deep sleep and REM stages where your body does its most important work, healing tissues, fighting off illness by strengthening your immune system, and consolidating memories. Have you ever felt foggy or forgetful after a night of broken sleep? It's not just your imagination. Chronic sleep disruption is scientifically linked to an accelerated risk of cognitive decline, memory problems, and even dementia. The solution isn't to dehydrate yourself. It's to hydrate strategically. Think of your hydration like a bell curve. Start your day with a glass of water to wake up your system. Drink steadily throughout the morning and afternoon, making this the peak of your intake. Then, as late afternoon transitions into evening, begin to taper off. If you're thirsty in the evening, take small, gentle sips instead of gulping down a full glass. And be a detective about hidden liquids. A big bowl of soup for dinner, a juicy melon for dessert, or even some medications can add to your fluid load. Also be mindful of diuretics like caffeine and alcohol. That late afternoon cup of coffee or evening glass of wine will actively work to push fluid out of your system, making nighttime trips more likely. By front-loading your hydration, you're not depriving your body, you're respecting its new rhythm. You're ensuring it gets the fluids it needs during its active hours and the deep, uninterrupted healing rest it desperately needs during its quiet hours.
Part 3. The Bedroom Furnace. Unlocking the Power of a Cool Night's Sleep. There's an image of comfort we all have. Being tucked in, snug as a bug, in a toasty warm room, especially on a chilly night. We often associate warmth with comfort and security. For this reason, many seniors tend to turn up the thermostat or pile on the heavy comforters, believing it's the best way to get a good night's sleep. But science tells us a surprising truth. When it comes to restorative sleep and cardiovascular health, a cooler room is a far better friend. Sleeping in a bedroom that's too warm can silently stress your system, leading to dehydration, poor sleep quality, and an increased strain on your heart. Our bodies have an internal thermostat, a brilliant system that regulates our core temperature. A key part of the process of falling asleep involves our body temperature naturally dropping by a couple of degrees. This drop is a crucial signal to the brain to begin producing melatonin, the sleep hormone, and to transition into the deeper, more restorative stages of sleep. When you sleep in a room that's too warm, you're fighting against this fundamental biological process. Your body has to work overtime just to try and cool itself down. Your heart has to pump more blood to the skin to dissipate heat, and you might sweat. This is work. It's an active, stressful state, the complete opposite of the restful, healing state your body is supposed to be in. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night feeling sweaty, restless, or even a bit breathless? That's your body waving a red flag, telling you it's overheating. This state can lead to subtle but significant dehydration overnight. As you lose water through sweat, your blood can actually become slightly thicker and more viscous. For an older adult, especially one with pre-existing circulatory issues, this is a dangerous state. Thicker blood is more prone to clotting and makes the heart work even harder to pump it through your vessels. This elevates the risk of blood clots, strokes, and heart attacks during the very hours your body should be at its most peaceful. My own father, a man who was always cold, used to keep his bedroom like a sauna. He would wake up every morning feeling exhausted, with a dry mouth and a dull headache. He chalked it up to just getting old. After much convincing, he agreed to an experiment. He turned his thermostat down and traded his heavy synthetic comforter for a couple of lighter, breathable cotton blankets. The change was nothing short of miraculous. Within a week, he reported waking up feeling refreshed for the first time in years. He wasn't just sleeping longer, he was achieving the deep, quality sleep that had been eluding him. So what is the magic number? Most sleep experts and doctors agree that the ideal temperature range for sleep is between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit, about 15.5 to 19.4 Celsius. This might sound chilly, but it's the temperature that best supports your body's natural thermal regulation. If that feels too cold at first, don't reach for the thermostat. Reach for layers. Use breathable materials like cotton or bamboo for your sleepwear and bedding. These materials wick moisture away from your skin, keeping you comfortable without trapping heat like synthetic fabrics can. You can even crack a window or use a small, quiet fan to keep the air circulating, which also improves air quality. By turning down the heat, you are turning up your body's ability to heal. You're creating the perfect environment for your heart to rest, your brain to recharge, and for you to achieve the kind of profoundly deep sleep that adds life to your years.
Part 4. The positional peril. How your sleeping position shapes your health. Of all the things we think about for our health, our sleeping position is probably last on the list. We toss and turn until we find what feels comfortable, and then we don't give it a second thought. But for those of us over 60, our sleeping posture isn't just a matter of comfort, it's a cornerstone of our nighttime health. The wrong position, held for hours on end, can restrict our breathing, impede our circulation, and put a dangerous, unnecessary strain on our heart. It's the most overlooked habit, yet it could be one of the most impactful ones you change. Let's first talk about the most common position, sleeping flat on your back. It seems logical,
even good for your spine. However, as we age, muscle tone throughout our body, including in our throat and soft palate, begins to decrease. When you lie on your back, gravity takes over. Your tongue and soft tissues can fall backward, partially obstructing your airway. This is what causes snoring, but it can also lead to a much more serious condition called obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA. With apnea, you literally stop breathing for short periods, from a few seconds to over a minute, before your brain panics from lack of oxygen and jolts you awake, often with a gasp or a snort. Many people have no idea they have it, but night after night, this cycle of oxygen deprivation and sudden awakening puts immense stress on the cardiovascular system, dramatically increasing the risk of high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke. Now, what about sleeping on your stomach? This position can feel cozy, but it forces you to turn your head to one side for hours, putting a significant strain on your neck and spine. More importantly, it can compress your rib cage and make it harder for your diaphragm to move, restricting your breathing. And what about sleeping on your side, which most of us do? Well, it matters which side. Studies have suggested that sleeping on your right side can put pressure on your vena cava, the large vein that carries blood back to the heart. It can also cause your heart to be slightly compressed by the weight of your lungs. For a healthy young person, this is negligible. But for a senior, perhaps with existing heart conditions, making the heart work even a little bit harder all night long is an unnecessary burden. It can also worsen acid reflux, as the stomach's position allows acid to flow more easily into the esophagus. This leads us to the hero of sleeping positions, sleeping on your left side. This posture is championed by doctors and sleep scientists for several key reasons. Firstly, it places the heart in an optimal position, allowing it to pump blood downhill into the descending aorta with greater ease, improving circulation throughout the body. Secondly, it aids digestion. Due to the position of our stomach and intestines, sleeping on the left helps gravity move waste through the colon, and it keeps the stomach below the esophagus, making it the best position for preventing acid reflux. It also takes pressure off the liver. It's a simple alignment that allows multiple systems in your body to function more efficiently and with less stress. Making the switch can be a challenge if you're a lifelong back or right side sleeper. The key is to use props. A firm body pillow is your best ally. Hugging a body pillow in front of you can prevent you from rolling onto your stomach or back. Placing a pillow between your knees helps keep your spine and hips aligned, reducing back pain. You can even place a pillow behind your back to create a gentle wedge that keeps you tilted to the left. It might take a week or two to adjust, but the payoff is immense. By consciously choosing your sleeping position, you are not just aiming for comfort, you are making an active choice to improve your breathing, support your circulation, and protect your heart, ensuring your body is in the safest, most restorative position possible all through the night.
And there we have it. 4 seemingly small habits that hold immense power over our health and vitality in our golden years. We've learned to finish our meals early, allowing our bodies to rest, not digest. We've learned to hydrate strategically, protecting our sleep and preventing dangerous falls. We've uncovered the secret of a cool bedroom, giving our hearts a break and inviting deep, healing sleep. And we've discovered the wisdom of sleeping on our left side, supporting our circulation and our very breath. These aren't restrictions, they are liberations. Each one is a key you now hold to unlock a healthier, more energetic tomorrow. My challenge to you tonight is to choose just one,
Just one of these simple adjustments to begin your journey. Awareness is the first step, and you have already taken it by spending this time with me. You have the power to make your nights as vibrant and healthy as your days. Thank you for joining me on the Senior Wise journey. If this message resonated with you, please help our community grow by giving this video a like, sharing it with someone you care about, and subscribing for more empowering content. Your story and your journey matter. Please share one thing you learned in the comments below. Until next time, sleep well and be well.